So how were the Inquisitors able to fight Maul? That is a question that's been on Star Wars fans' heads ever since the end of Maul Shadow Lord, the TV show. The Inquisitors themselves were supposed to be fodder. They were supposed to be someone that was able to just step in and hunt weakened Jedi and hunt weakened Jedi Masters who have been hiding during Order 66. And a lot of people recently, especially when it comes to the Inquisitors, have been really upset when it comes to the power scaling in the show Maul Shadow Lord. That is mainly due to the fact that a lot of people are upset that Maul was not able to really dispatch any of the Inquisitors that were shown in the Maul Shadow Lord TV show, and that it seemed like he was effectively struggling to even keep up with them. But in reality, I explained that in my last video, it's just due to the fact that his mind was fractured, he couldn't focus, and his knee injury was also derailing him and making him not be able to fight with his full capacity. But if you've seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, that TV show, then when Zuko lost his powers, that is almost exactly what was going on with Maul, except for the fact that he's not losing the ability to use the Force, is that he's not able to channel it as well. And that is because Maul's mind was completely fractured during this point. He had still never came to terms with what happened to him during his entire life. A similar thing happened to Spider-Man in Spider-Man 2 when he has completely lost his focus and he wasn't able to use his powers not nearly as effectively as he once was. But I answered most of that in yesterday's video, so let me get back to the topic at hand, and that is the reason why Palpatine created the Inquisitors. Palpatine fully understood that some of the Jedi that had survived Order 66 would be on the far reaches of the galaxy. Some who had already left the Order, some who were completely just away from the battles that took place during the Clone Wars. And although many of them were killed, almost 10,000 Jedi were killed on that one night during Order 66, he understood that there would be some that would survive. He also understood that the Empire truly didn't have what it took, or at least the regular rank and file stormtroopers didn't have what it took to take down any of these Jedi. So that's when Palpatine created the Inquisitorius. The Inquisitors were Jedi or former Jedi who had turned to the dark side of the Force, but weren't necessarily trained to become Sith Lords. They were just trained in the dark side of the Force. Now, them already being attuned to the Force or being former Jedi plays a crucial role, because this is the only way that they'd be able to tell if somebody who was hiding out was truly a Jedi or not. You could go off of rumors, you can go off suspicion, but at the end of the day, if somebody who's a non-Force user inquires about somebody who is hiding as a current Jedi, then they wouldn't be able to figure it out without the use of the Force. And you may be asking, why not just dispatch Vader to go handle all of these Jedi issues, in which he actually did, but not all the time. Vader wasn't used all the time as somebody to just go hunt down a few Jedi who were just straggling out on the Outer Rim. Vader was used sparingly because he was a huge asset to the Empire. He was also the biggest aspect to Palpatine himself. So this is another reason why the Inquisitorius were created. They were created in order to fill that gap between Vader, the Empire, and also the Force. The Inquisitors were somebody who could just be used as fodder in a way. I understand that at the beginning of the video I said that they weren't necessarily fodder, but they could be used in this way. If an Inquisitor died, then it really didn't mean anything to the Empire. Or if an Inquisitor failed to kill a Jedi, then he could just be simply sent back out on a mission until he finally kills them or takes them in. Vader was also seen as somebody who was still trying to control his emotions by Palpatine. He understood that Vader wasn't fully in control of himself just yet. So Vader was only used or only called upon when he was actually truly needed, or if a situation was blown way out of proportion. The Inquisitors were also limited in their training. They were never trained to become a Sith Lord. They were trained only to get the job done. They were trained to be able to dispatch of young Jedi or Jedi who were hiding, and also be able to take out some low-ranking Jedi Masters that happened to survive Order 66. They were also trained directly to Vader, and they also responded not only directly to the Empire, but responded directly to Vader as well. Their training was very brutal, often involving dismemberment and also bad wounds. They were also operating just outside of the Empire's political range, so that if random politicians ended up missing or whole villages got destroyed in Hunt for a Jedi, then they would have no accountability, because they were seen as an entity that operated just outside of the Empire's political surface. So this also gave Palpatine and Vader free reign when it came to the Inquisitors, so they could destroy and do whatever they wanted, essentially. Now, with all this being said, the Inquisitors were elite in their own right when it came down to hunting down a few Jedi. Now, obviously, they would struggle if it was a high-ranking Jedi Master that had survived or they came encountered with. But when it came to hunting down regular rank and file Jedi who had survived, or low-ranking Jedi Masters, and they were very efficient at being able to take them out. There was also the fear factor that came into it, as well as now that Jedi figured out that there's also Force wielders who were hunting them down, as well as Stormtroopers, they truly had a little bit of fear within them. Their effectiveness was also their undoing, due to the fact that by the time the Galactic Civil War rolled around, there had been no more rumors of Jedi, and rumors of Jedi had started to dry up. They had eventually become completely obsolete and were discarded. Whether they got hunted down by Vader or killed by Palpatine, we don't know. But the Inquisitors' intentions were to be temporary. They were never supposed to be around for all this time, or be around longer than what they had to be. So eventually, they just became completely obsolete. But anyway, that's all I got for this video. Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. May the Force be with you guys, and as always, have a great rest of your day. And if you stuck through all the way to the end, I truly do thank you.